Across the history of electrical experimentation, various inventors have explored ways to modify how electrical energy is distributed, stored, or transferred. During the late 19th century, electrical engineering was still developing rapidly. Researchers and inventors were experimenting with coils, transformers, resonant circuits, and different arrangements of conductive materials. Among these experiments were devices intended to change the behavior of electrical current through specific coil configurations. Some of these designs later appeared in patents, engineering notes, and laboratory prototypes. Over time, many of these historical experiments became references for hobbyists, engineers, and individuals interested in do-it-yourself electrical systems. In recent years, a number of digital guides have appeared online that claim to reinterpret these historical electrical designs and present them as small home-scale construction projects. One example of this type of instructional material is a product known as the Energy Revolution system. This product does not consist of a physical device shipped to the buyer. Instead, it is structured as a set of digital instructions explaining how a device can be assembled using commonly available components. The Energy Revolution system is presented as a digital blueprint package. The product contains documentation that describes the construction of a device based on a coil configuration often associated with historical electrical patents attributed to Nikola Tesla. Within the product package, users receive several types of documentation. These include illustrated diagrams, wiring schematics, component lists, and assembly steps. The material is organized in a way similar to technical hobbyist guides used in electronics communities. Rather than delivering a finished device, the product focuses on documentation that explains how the device could theoretically be constructed. The package typically includes a main instruction manual's illustrated blueprints, a parts list, step-by-step assembly instructions, additional explanatory notes. All of the materials are delivered digitally after purchase. Users download the documentation and review the instructions independently. The interaction process begins with purchasing access to the digital documentation. After purchase, the user receives the files containing the technical instructions and diagrams. The next stage involves reviewing the material. According to the documentation structure, this reading phase may take around 1 hour. Once the instructions are understood, the user gathers the components listed in the materials checklist. These parts are described as commonly available electronic components that can be obtained from hardware stores or electronic suppliers. After collecting the parts, the user proceeds to assemble the device by following the provided diagrams. The assembly process involves arranging conductive wiring in a specific coil configuration and connecting it with other listed components. The documentation suggests that the assembly process could take several hours depending on experience and familiarity with basic tools. During this process, the user performs the physical construction themselves. The product therefore functions as a technical instruction set rather than a finished consumer device. Instructional blueprint products like this typically attract individuals interested in small-scale electronics projects. This can include hobbyists, experimenters, or people who enjoy assembling devices from technical instructions, because the product requires gathering materials and performing assembly. It generally aligns with users comfortable working with tools, wiring, and basic electronic components. It may also appeal to individuals interested in historical electrical designs or experimental coil configurations associated with early electrical engineering research. Since the product is entirely instructional, users are expected to take responsibility for sourcing materials and constructing the device themselves. The Energy Revolution system sits within a broader category of digital DIY technical guides. This category includes products that provide instructions for building electronic devices, mechanical systems, or experimental prototypes. Unlike commercial consumer electronics, these products do not ship physical hardware. Instead, they provide documentation similar to technical manuals or hobbyist project guides. Compared with professionally manufactured energy systems such as solar installations or commercial generators, this type of product functions more as an instructional concept demonstration. The primary deliverable is information rather than equipment. In that sense, the Energy Revolution system resembles other blueprint-style products where the user builds the device independently using provided documentation. If you want to examine the documentation referenced in this video, you can find the link in the description below.